Hello everybody and welcome to the Medusa Games Sunday evening stream. Those of you who saw our viewing from last week will know we're halfway through a game of 9 worlds with the Creatures and Monsters expansion. This is an expansion that you can't currently buy, so if you the artwork on the board when Richard shows that to you is on Creatures and Monsters at least is still in the prototype phase. It's sort of partly there. Andre's working on making it beautiful before we actually publish it.
Yes.
But this is an expansion that we have full plans to bring out in the course of the next year or so. This will be the next thing that comes from us. At the halfway point in our game, I am blue and orange, and as you can see from the points track, red and green, which is Richard is rather in front of me at the moment. So I'm going to see if in the second half of the game I can somehow redeem myself.
Yes, indeed, yes. So,
and just to say, those of you who, if anyone's not familiar with the 9 Worlds and Creatures and Monsters expansion, we are halfway through a game, so you might want to just catch the stream from last week when we did the first half of the game first.
yes, indeed. I'm just checking here that we're okay with sound. I think we're okay. It's just sometimes when you start off you can't quite... Yep, I can hear myself now. That's good. This is good. Right, let's get back into things. Okay, here we go. Right, so everyone should be able to now see the board here. And as Jane said, I'm kind of first player is green over here. And I'm also red. When you play 2-player 9 worlds, we suggest you play with 2 colours. Jane is blue and orange. Now, I managed to do quite well out of getting the monsters last turn. I've got actually 4 of them with the red player here, the mare, the Garm, the Foster Grim and the Cowtroll. These 3, the Garm, the Foster Grim and the Cowtroll, are just worth victory points. They're not... they don't do anything else in the game. They've done whatever they're going to contribute to the game other than give me points. But the mare does have its power here, which is the ability to deflect a stone from the world that the avatar is in to an adjacent world. And my other player, or colour really, the green one, has the Huldra, which does the reverse. It draws in a stone to the world that the avatar is in. During the moment, you've only got 1 monster. It's the Valkyrie.
That's got a very useful power to it, the Valkyrie power.
Yes. So the Valkyrie can basically bring stones back from Valhalla. Normally, when that happens, it comes back to your home world and just scores you 2 points. But she has the option of sending those stones to other worlds or to bring them to her home world and score 3 points. So a bit of flexibility with the use of the of that. So. Now, where we are with this is we're about to go again. I'm going to go first with green, and then red, and then it'll be orange and blue. I've used quite a lot of my tokens that I had, though, that I gained. Jane's got quite a lot of tokens to be able to add stones to the monsters, and also lots of stones on her card. So whilst I'm ahead, I've got a feeling things might swing back a little bit the other way. We shall see. Now, before we start, we've established already the player order for the following turn. Let's just double check that. I think green then red, then orange, then blue. This is done by looking at the total number of stones in the 9 worlds, and
whoever has the most stones goes first.
That's right.
Player. If there's a tie on numbers of stones, you then look at numbers of worlds controlled, and if you've still got a tie, then it's who has the most stones on the first world, which is Asgard. If that's still a tie, who has the most stones on Hell,
yes.
on Valhalla, and so on.
I'm just checking we've got these right between orange and blue here. I've got 12 and 11 stones between green and red, and then orange has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. Blue has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 I'm counting. So actually...
It should be blue then orange.
It should be blue then orange, yeah. That's right. Now, what you have an option of, I think that was the actual order the previous turn, actually. We hadn't quite done that, so we've done player order now. At this stage, any player that's got a token that allows you to change the player order, which is a token you can gain, one of the monster tokens when you defeat a monster, can play it. Now, the only one that's got this is this token over here, which is blue, the blue player. So,
and I'm thinking that From 4th place, it made sense to stay where I was, but actually, I can move up to 2 spaces, can't I? So
Up to three. Yes, up to 2 spaces. That's right.
So I could make blue first player.
You could indeed, yes.
And then orange is 4th player and blue is 1st player. And generally speaking, being first or last
has its advantages. Yeah, which means blue is going to be on 8 action points. Green and red are going to be on 7, except that I have a token which I can spend to buy an extra action point with. That's another monster token that I won off when I defeated a monster.
So I use that change player order token.
Yeah, so we both use those tokens. I'll use that. Okay, so off you go then. You're playing first with blue with 8 action points.
So, just looking at the situation.
Actually, one thing we should point out now that we haven't looked at this yet, if you've been following the last game, is where we are with the monsters. So
we put 3 new monsters out.
3 new monsters out. So we have Fenrir here. Now the second stage monsters, as these are called, these are the ones that come out in the second half of the game, are worth more victory points. Fenrir worth is 6 victory points. It takes a lot more stones to defeat them. Some of those stones are going to end up going to Helheim, so you're going to be suffering for the victory. There are more penalties to be suffered. Two penalties will be suffered by whoever defeats Fenrir, or by the players collectively who don't, if Fenrir isn't defeated. These are the tokens. There's plenty of bonus tokens then to be won. Some of these have special end game sort of points. So, for example, this one here, when you spend it, which you can spend in the scoring phase of the 4th, 5th, and 6th turn, you score 2 points for every stone that is in Helheim. This one down here means that you score 4, 6, 8, or 10 points if you've got 8, 10, 12, or 15 stones in the 9 worlds. Then
these are world powers.
These are world powers, but these 2 down here, this means you get an additional 2 points if you win a world, if you control a world, 1 extra 2 points if you tie for control of a world.
And that is every round,
or you use them on one of the scoring rounds. You decide when you're going to use them. This one gives you 2 points for every world that you are on, in addition to the normal 1 that you get. So those are obviously useful to be had. Monster power is only one of these 3 as a monster power. It is the dragon, and that allows you to send a stone back to somebody's reserve from any one of the 9 worlds. So they take more defeating, these monsters do, but they are more powerful and have more benefits. They're worth more points as well, because at the moment I won monster points on the first scoring round by having 4 points. Any one of those, well, the cave troll wouldn't, but the dragon and the Fenrir would equal or exceed those points. Yeah. Right. So what are you doing then?
Okay. So just looking at this, I seem to have a bit of an overpopulation problem going on in Vanaheim.
Yep.
So I am going to spend 1 point to move on to there.
Yep.
And another point to move that one to there.
Okay.
And a 3rd point to move that stone to there.
Yep. So trying to muscle in for Jotunheim. You had it controlled it last year, but last turn as it were, but you didn't get its power, of course.
Okay, so that's 3 points. I've got another 5 to spend.
Yep. You're right.
I do have 5 stones on my card. However, I also need to think about monsters.
Yes.
And the advantage of going first is that I will get the ability to put at least the first stone down on one of the monster cards. So
yep,
I definitely need to have at least 1 stone in the meat hall. Take advantage of that.
Okay.
Following that, of course, I have rather a lot of stones. I do have quite a few of these little tokens as well that enable me to add things to there. So it's whether I should put another monster one on or not. maybe one more is worth it. And then I'm going to move my okay, that's 6.
Yep.
And then I'm going to move that to there. Make 7.
Yep.
No, hang on, let's think about it. I'll put that one back as a 5. If instead I move the avatar there for 6, and
Yep.
move that in for 7, it's exactly the same number of points. It doesn't make any difference, does it? But I'll do that because I'm trying to get as much control in as I can, and then I'm going to put one more into there.
Okay,
And
so
I will
that's
be
you,
at battle
you done
in
with blue, so
Midgard.
green is next. So currently overpopulated. I also have an overpopulation problem here on Alfheim.
The reason we get these overpopulation problems more so in creatures and monsters is because when the monsters are defeated and everybody goes back to players' things, in the first half of the game a lot of the monsters end up sending a lot of stones back to people's cards.
Yes.
Here we have a few ones, like the stone trolls, there are 3 squares in a row that would send it back to people's cards, but fewer, and the home world is, if it goes to the home world as well.
Yes.
So,
1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to send 3 stones to the Mead Hall in preparation to go off and fight monsters. So that is 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So that was green. Next up is red.
and red's the one that spent the point for the extra.
Yep. So I have an
action
extra
points.
point. This is true. Right. So I've got a good control here of Niflheim and of Musselheim. Stones on these 2 worlds here. At the present moment, they are helping you have control of those, or get those powers, which isn't such a good thing. So I might be better off using them somewhere else, or I'm going to go at trying to take one of those off you. So let's have a go. Where's my avatar? It's over here. Okay, well, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. 4. 5, 6. And I will take 1 stone. I'll take 1 stone to the Mead Hall. Oh, I've got 2. Sorry, I've got 2 more points, haven't I? Yep. So 1 there and another 1 as well for 8. Okay. That just leaves orange.
That's a red victory at the moment on there.
Yep. That's the I have to do in the player order, so just equaling is good enough to win that one. So you obviously have to do something about that if you can. But it's orange's turn now.
Let's turn the board round and look at it from Orange's point of view. So, in terms of monsters, Orange didn't have any monsters at all before.
No. Both orange and blue do have quite a few of these bonus monster token things here, which means they can, for free, move stones directly from the bag onto these monsters once we've resolved the stones that have been deployed there as part of our action phase. So that's going to give them a little advantage, which is one of the reasons why I at least started off by putting a reasonable number of stones on right from the start with green and red.
Well, I'll put 1 on to begin with, and then I'll see. So that's 1. Then I'm going to go 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
6. 7.
Okay. Right, that is us all done, yeah? Happy with that? Yep. So, okay, so...
Actually no, I won't bother putting an orange stone in the mead hall.
Right, okay.
I will instead put that one back in the bag where
Yep.
it came from and take one from my card.
Put it on there. Okay, fair enough.
And then I'm going to... Yes.
That is the 7 though, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah, that's the 7.
Yeah. Okay. Right then, so first of all, blue places one of these mead hall stones. So the idea of this mead hall is mead. If people don't know the phrase mead hall, the warriors in Viking Anglo-Saxon times would obviously gather together in the halls. Mead hall, they've been called ale hall or sometimes wine halls. But generally mead, ale and mead is what they drunk. And they'd have a party and drink lots and eat lots, and here they can see them also rehearsing for battle, and then they go off to battle. So the stones, which are the warriors, can then be deployed. We do this in player order.
Can I just check a point of the rules, which I've
Yep.
just forgotten? What I just did, I said I wasn't going to put a stone in the mead hall. If I don't put a stone in the mead hall at all, does that mean I can't use the tokens?
No, the tokens are optional for any player that's got them. Yeah.
But obviously after all the stones.
After all the stones are deployed, yes. Yeah. Okay, so blue. Just checking the player order. Green, red. Okay, so green next. All right. Well, let's let's have a look here. We've got, yep, Valhalla's always good to grab. Valhalla stone there, and a Valhalla stone there. Then back to blue. Okay. All right then. Valhalla.
It was green next, actually.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. So you're right. So green, then red, and then finally the last one, which I will put. Let's put that there. Okay. So now, you have the option in player order, starting with blue. Do you wish to spend a battle token?
I'm just checking how many. So orange has got 4.
Orange has got 4, blue has got 3, red has none, green has 1.
Blue has got 3.
Yeah.
So in total I have got 7.
Yes, between your two colours, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I will spend a token, I think.
Yep.
And I will drop it on there.
Fenrir. Okay. Then it is in player order Green's option. Green will spend a token because I think by spending just 1, which is all it's got actually, that means I now can't lose the cave troll. So I've got half the slots, and I was in first. So for tie, the ties are broken in my favour. If whoever's in the furthest to the left slot out of the tied players. Okay, so then it will be orange. No, so then it would be red, but red hasn't got one.
Mm-hmm.
So orange.
So orange is going to spend 1.
Yep.
And it is going to put
That's why so when I think about that, just remind you what these numbers mean. So this 5-2 on Fenrir here means that two penalties, the second number, will be suffered by whoever wins the card, whoever defeats, who's done the most to defeat Fenrir and wins the card. But if no one defeats Fenrir, and so Fenrir
by the end of the sixth round,
and so Fenrir is unvanquished, then every player will suffer 2 penalties each, unless they have got at least 5 stones on Fenrir. So you can do quite a lot of fighting and avoid taking the penalties, but Fenrir could still be undefeated, perhaps. But you can avoid taking the damage. Whereas down here with the stone troll, you just have to have 3 on there to avoid taking the 1 penalty if the stone trolls were undefeated. So I've already done enough there to avoid that.
In reality, we're only in round 4.
Yeah.
None of these monsters will still be around at the end of
Probably
round
not,
6.
but others will come along.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're back to blue again.
Yep. We're back to blue.
Do you wish to spend another token? You need to spend one of those, don't you? You had.
Oh yes, I did spend one of those.
Yep. Okay.
Well, one of mine had 4 and one of mine had 3.
Yes, but have you not spent both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, who had 4?
Yeah, but the orange had 4.
Yeah, that's right.
So the 3, so the blue needs to spend 1 as well, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you can spend another one if you wish. Now these battle tokens, these tokens that give you these free moves, only come in the first phase of the game, the first 3 turns. So we start the game with 2 anyway, but also you can win them by beating the monsters, but we won't get any more. So they're a finite resource.
Well, the stone trolls.
Yeah.
You've won that one.
I have, yes.
However, if I put one thing on there, that would guarantee me a token.
It would, yes. Yeah.
So, I think I'm going to spend 1 just in order to go
So
on there.
you get at least 1 token,
Get
right?
at least 1 token.
But
Which is, 3 victory points or a Midgard power.
or a Vanaheim power.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be back to orange. You wish to spend 1 of your 3 remaining tokens. Once you pass in this phase, of course, you can't then come back in until the following turn.
Yes, orange is going to spend 1 more token.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I am going to put an orange one onto the dragon. Which probably means that orange will be entitled to at least a token from the dragon as well.
Okay.
Because there are 4 available tokens there.
There are. So back to blue.
No, that's it.
You're passing. Back to orange.
No, we're passing now.
Okay, so that's it. We're done with that. We now check to see if any of the monsters resolve. None of these monsters resolve this turn, but we don't have to worry about that until we get to turn 6. But there may well be 1 or 2 of these might get completed next turn in turn 5. Right, so on we go. So it's now the battles and world powers phase. There are Alfheim doesn't activate. So Asgard doesn't. Alfheim does.
Alfheim does. Jotunheim is having a battle.
It is. So the player order is blue, then red. So blue comes off, then red, then blue, and we are down to 5 stones. So to red victory. So that's 1. The red stone goes to Valhalla, and I get access to the Jotunheim world power. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stones in Midgard, so that is a blue world. The Vela activates. So there is a battle there first, though. So green comes off. That's just a straight win. Yeah. Go straight to Valhalla. And Vela will be activated. Muspelheim has 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, because
too many reds.
Too many reds. There's a bit of a civil war goes on there by 2 stones by the look of things, is it? No, only 1. So 1 stone goes back to my reserve, but that activates. Svartalfheim has a similar problem. A battle happens, the red stone is destroyed, and Svartalfheim activates, and Niflheim will activate as well.
That stays as a red one.
Stays as red. Okay then. Now before we use the world powers, I realised we actually got ahead of ourselves slightly here, because we should have used monster powers. Yeah.
We should have done. Yes.
So just let me check it.
My monster power only activates in the case of things coming from.
And mine either draws in a stone or removes a stone from a thing. My red stone is the one that will deflect a stone out. I wouldn't want to have done that because I did quite well out of that battle. My green power here is the Huldra. I draw a stone in. That would allow me to activate Asgard perhaps if I'd drawn in an adjacent stone. But
you've got two other world powers. You've got Asgard and Niflheim. You've got.
We'll leave it this time because we forgot about it. Okay.
Alfheim and Nidorella. I meant to say.
Now before we use the world powers, however, we go around the players and say, does any player have a monster world power token? So as we've shown over here, when you defeat monsters, sometimes you get single use world powers. They're played before the proper world powers. I've got one. I've got this banishment token. The banishment power though is useful in a scoring round, which this isn't. So I'm going to hold back that probably for the final turn to make the most of it. The Sutir has the Asgard world power, but if he uses that, he wouldn't be able to use either Jotunheim or any of these three here. So that's not worth doing either. So I won't do that. Yeah. So let's go through them.
And if you don't use any of these tokens, they are worth a point.
They use a worth point at the end. Yeah. Alfheim can move 2 stones. So what I'm going to do, given that you did the same, you're muscling in a bit here on Niflheim, aren't you? What I'm going to do is I'm going to move a couple of these stones into here, create a little bit of a conflict between orange and blue. They will fight each other, even though they're on the same player controlled, and also that means obviously next turn she wouldn't be able to use the Svartalfheim power. So that's my green Alfheim power used. The next one up is Jotunheim. Jotunheim is a steel power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal one of these orange things here. That goes back to the card and it's replaced by a red stone. Midgard, that's you.
Okay, this is swap. Exchange a stone with another stone.
Yep.
And this is what colour power is it?
It's the yellow power, yeah. Oh, okay, sorry, it belongs to. Oh, you're right. We didn't mark it, did we? I think it was blue. Yes, it was blue.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it was blue. So
you can swap any blue stone with any other stone anywhere in the 9 worlds. And any of these actions, any of these world powers, as they happen, they don't stop world powers from happening. That's the reason why we mark the world powers with the player who's got it. So even if what's happened changes the balance in a world, it doesn't stop the world power happening this turn, but it does future turn. Okay. Okay, and then next would be Nidorella. So I get to drop a stone onto the 9 worlds. What I will do is drop a stone directly to Asgard, which means theoretically I've got access to that next turn. World power. That's Nidorella done. Muspelheim.
So you can send two different stones back to a player's card.
Yeah.
Or you can send one stone back to someone's reserve.
Okay. Well, let's continue the sort of erosion of Svartalfheim by sending one of those there. And one of those blue ones back to there. Okay, that was Muspelheim. Svartalfheim, you've got that power. So you got
Svartalfheim power is to spend 2 points.
Yep.
Straight away. So thing to do is obviously Svartalfheim has become a bit depopulated. So moving my own stones between worlds costs a point.
Yep.
So if I move that one back there, and that one back there.
Okay. That's Svartalfheim. Then I get to banish something with Niflheim. So I will banish that yellow stone there. Give me that power at the moment, mind you. But I can do something about that, and so I'll send him down there. Right, that is all the world powers of Valhalla phase. The red stone comes back to Muspelheim, scores red 2 points.
And the green stone's coming back as well, so I'm going to move the green one first because it's easier.
Yeah, back to Alfheim, which is our home world. So both stones go up by 2. Scoring round doesn't apply, although this would be where we'd have the option had we defeated one of these monsters to cash in these sort of end game. When I say end game, they can be used in any of the scoring rounds of the sort of second half of the game, but none of us have got those. So we just move on the marker. It should have been already moved on to 4.
This is now round 5.
It is down at round 5, and we look to see who controls the who's got the most stones. So I have what is that now? 15 stones in of a green. $13 for red.
So it's green and then red.
So it's green then red. Okay. Okay, and then what's happening with the blue and orange?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 blue stones, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 orange stones.
Okay, so that is the order. Nobody has any change player order tokens now, so basically that is what will happen.
No.
So
obviously, last round seemed a bit disappointing in the sense of we all spent stones on the monsters, but then didn't actually get anywhere with them. But of course, we were jockeying for position with the level 2 monsters. It's unusual to be able to get rid of them in the first go, really.
No. Right, so it's 7 points for everybody apart from green, and green goes now. Right, yes. So I want to try and finish off these stone trolls so I can get those points, and also at the moment I'm tying up 4 of my stones on that card, which I'd rather like to have back. So I want to do something about them, but also looking at Fenrir, which currently I've got 2 stones off, but blue and orange are on there as well, and so we're obviously fighting for control of that one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send green's in a reasonable position from the perspective of the actual Iron Worlds. So I'm going to first of all send 4 stones directly to the Mead Hall. So this monster action this turn, I think. I'm also that's 4 points. 5 points. I'm going to move a stone down to there, so that I've got 5 in all 3 of these worlds. That leaves me with 3 points left. So let's have a go here. Is there a chance that I'm going to go into one of these other worlds? Let's move down to Vanaheim. That's 5, 6, and I have 2 left. So I'm going to take that's to there. And let's see what happens. Anyway, just give her a world power, of course, but I'm going to have a go with a few things here to see if I can't maybe try and get control of that. Probably not going to happen, but we'll see. That was green. Red, 7 points to spend. Now, not in such a good position here. It's overpopulated on Muspelheim and lost control of the world power on Niflheim. So what I'm going to do first of all is move that stone to there, so that I can get that back again. And I'd like to keep control of Jotunheim, which at the moment I haven't got enough stones there to use its power. So 1, Two, 3, 4, 5. 2 points left. And let's put those straight to the mead hall there. Okay, blue's next.
Right. So at the moment, blue has control of its home world and has that power.
Yeah.
But what it doesn't have is any other powers anywhere. Now you were talking about trying to get control of this one. I'm assuming that's going to be a combination of using your power to push a stone away and a power to pull a stone in, and so on. So I think that what I'll do is I will move this back to I'll push that stone because red's gone.
Yep.
So I will push that stone to here.
Okay.
1 point. I'll move myself to there for 2 points.
Yep.
So that's 2, 3, 4, and does red have any monster powers?
Red has the mare power, which is the deflect a stone away from the world his avatar is in.
Okay, so that's 4 points I've spent so far.
Yep.
5, 6.
Okay, and that just leaves orange.
Okay, so blue was concentrating mainly on to do there.
Yep.
Orange is going to send 3 to the meat hole.
Okay. Yep, that's 3.
4.
Yep.
5. Oops. 6. Sorry, I'll push that one to there. I meant to push it to there.
Okay.
5, 6, 7.
Okay. Right. So, so mead hall time. So first up, we've got
Green.
Green. So green. Well, all right. Here we go. I'm just going to want to make sure 3 stones in here. Got majority anyway. So trying to play at least 3 into there. I'll finish that off. So I think I'm going to carry on. Also helping up there. That's 1. So green, then red. If I put a stone and yes, trying to get majority control of the Fenrir here. So that's that. Then blue.
I have a stone on each of them. Ideally, I want to finish off the dragon this turn.
Okay. And then orange.
Orange isn't in line for a token on this one yet, so I'll put that there. Don't do that?
Well, it would give you one of the tokens, yeah, because even if I drop red on there now, unless I drop 2 reds, which I can't, then you would get your blue and your orange are going to get a token each.
No, I think I'll go on here.
Okay. So back round to green. Right, well, green, I think he's going to try it. We'll do that there. And then red continues his efforts against Fenrir. Okay, blue.
Blue hasn't got any more stones, so I have to wait for the token.
Okay, it's orange.
1, 2. So I've got 2 tokens, 2 things, and then I've got 2 thingies. So I can, by spending my things, I can finish this one off on my own.
Right, so 2, 2. Now I could, yes, I want to finish off stone trolls to get these stones back, so I'll go there. So then your orange one. And on we go there. Right, so then player order starting with green, and red don't have any battle stones. So then it's blue. Do you wish to spend a stone to?
I do.
Yeah.
Because I want to finish off
The dragon. Yeah. And then orange presumably is going to spend 2 tokens because nobody else has got any to finish off the dragon. Yeah.
Hang on, what's going on here? Why are we?
Well,
I put a stone in the wrong place, didn't I?
probably yeah. But I mean, it's up to you where you put the stones. So
I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? Because that was an orange one anyway.
yeah.
So it doesn't make any difference.
You need to play both tokens, but 2 stones on the dragon to finish it off. Yeah. There they are. And they play your 2 tokens. Right. So we now resolve things. Fenrir doesn't resolve yet. I'll obviously wait till the last turn to resolve. The stone trolls do. Blue gets 1 token, but I choose first. Then blue, then me. So there are 2 things in Helheim at the moment. So the Valheim one would be good for Jane to take to bring them back. So actually taking 1 would potentially deny that. So I think I'll take the green one. It's worth a point at the end of the game anyway. So then you get a choice of one of those 2 things.
So this one is.
So it's either 3 victory points or the Midgard World Power.
Well, this particular turn of the game. I think I will go with the victory points.
Okay, so you just you can score that straight away and just discard the thing. So that was blue. Blue goes up by 3, and green gets the Midgard Power. Blue also has to take a penalty.
No, blue doesn't.
No, sorry, green has to take a penalty for winning the thing. So -2 victory points or a card, but so let me just see what's going to happen here. I'm going to get a stone to Valhalla here. I'm going to get a stone to any of the 9 worlds, and I'm going to get a stone to home world. My home world would then be overpopulated. So actually, sending a stone back from my taking a stone back from there to my card means that that it at least means it's not quite as damaging. Right, so then we resolve the stones. So as we've said, one to Valhalla, 1 to one of the 9 worlds. Sorry, that's I'm going to send my home to there.
Yeah, do that.
World powers, battles, green. Trouble with this is that green's coming first, so I'll be losing a stone whatever happens here. So
Unless
actually,
you put it on Niflheim, maybe.
Yes, indeed, yes. Let's pop it there. Right, and then this one goes to my home world. This one goes to my card. There. The blue stone goes to your card.
Yep.
Another one to my card. And these are probably reserves, aren't they? Yep, reserve stones for green. Back into my bag. Right, and then I win the...
You win the stone trolls.
Yeah,
But
which is just for a scoring round, which will be next turn, 3 more points. Right, then we resolve the dragon. So this is going to be an orange win. But it's your two. So basically, orange gets a token, then blue, then orange, then blue.
so remind me what these tokens do.
Okay,
Again.
so this is a +2 points for worlds that you control, and +2 points for worlds that you tie. Okay, and the one below is +2 points for every world that you are on, and you can cash these in the scoring round of either this round or next round.
And then that one.
That's the Svartalheim power, the spend power.
Which is 2 points. And it's 2 each, isn't it?
It's 2 each, yes.
2 to orange, 2 to blue.
Yep. So you can divvy those out as you wish, and you're going to take. This is orange. Is going to be taking 2 penalties. That's a -2 victory points here. This is a -3. That's a stone back to your reserve. That's a stone to Helheim. So it's up to you. We're not playing in the with these two, because that's if we were playing with 5 or 6 players. Yeah. So it's the but
No, that's the Svartalheim power. Which orange probably. Orange has anyway. Let's give that to blue.
Okay.
And then give orange the 2 victory points.
Okay.
Which we just put on the thing now.
Yeah.
So I'll just bin that one and move orange 2 points on the track.
Yep. And then you've got to choose 2 penalties for orange. So you can lose those 2 victory points you just had. You can lose 3 victory points. You can send a stone back to your reserve. You can send a stone to Helheim. You have to choose basically 2 separate penalties.
Okay, so what I will do is I will send a stone back to my reserve.
Okay.
And I get to choose which stone, don't I?
Yep. Indeed.
So this isn't a scoring round.
No.
So I'm going to send this stone back to my reserve.
Okay. And then what are you going to do with the other thing? You're going to lose 2 victory points?
No, I'm going to send a stone
To Helheim?
Yeah.
Okay. So orange stone goes to Helheim. Which one's it going to be? Stones in Helheim are both -2 points.
No, I'm going to lose 2 victory points.
Right.
I'm going because we haven't done the world powers thing yet.
No.
So I don't want to move any stones.
Right, so then we sort these stones out. So this one is going to Valhalla. The next one I think will be a 9 worlds. Any of the 9 worlds?
Mm-hmm.
This is the home world for orange. This is a home world for blue. That is a reserve for orange.
That's a card for orange.
So a card for orange I meant, yep. And a reserve then for orange is on. Yeah. And then there's a one of these will be Helheim, won't it? The orange one there goes to Helheim. The other 2 go to the relevant reserves, blue and orange. You then get
So
the
this one that's going anywhere in the 9 worlds. Let's have a look and see.
yeah. In a moment, you're going to get to use this dragon power. Pop it over there.
But I won this one anyway. 1, 2. It's going to be red, then blue, then red. So after I put this stone on, is anything else happening before we have the battle?
Monster powers. So what's going to happen in player order? Blue doesn't have one because the Valkyrie one. Well, it will come in when the when that stone comes back from Valhalla. So the monster powers will be done in player order. Green will be able to deflect a stone from where his avatar is. Red will be able to draw a stone in to where. So it's the other way around, actually. Sorry, but yeah, Huldrug, the green one can draw a stone into where he is. The mare, the red stone can deflect one from where they are.
So I'm going
and then you're going to get to send the stone from any of the 9 worlds to a reserve.
So I'm going to put my blue stone onto here.
Okay. Right, monster powers then. So as we said, it's first of all green. Green can, using the Huldra power, draw a stone into the world where his avatar is. So green's avatar is there. That's not going to really help the. But what's going to happen in a minute is green will take its stone off, leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then blue will lose one. Well, we're both going to lose one, but if I put another stone in there, that'll simply mean that'll get lost in the battle. So what I might as well do is draw in a orange stone.
In order to take away the Midgard power.
Yeah. So that is the Huldra power. Then the next one is red. Red can deflect a stone using the mare here, the nightmare. A stone from where his avatar is to an adjacent one.
Avatar does have a lot of stones around it.
He has a lot of stones, so getting one out of there is good. There's plenty of space in Niflheim. So let's get stone back in. Or more Midgard. Actually, that would leave 5 Midgard. Yep. Okay. Let's pop that there. Okay, and then you've got your the dragon power, which is you can return a stone to a player's reserve for any world. So she's going to be.
I've done it.
You did it? Okay. You're taking the blue one, aren't you?
No. I just accidentally took that back.
Right.
No, I sent a red one back from here.
Right, fair enough. Okay, so that's all that business. Now we go to battles and world powers phase.
So first of all, Asgard, there's no battle. Green has that power.
Yeah.
We can discuss whether you're going to use it. Vanaheim, we have a battle. So green comes off. One.
Yep.
There is no red. Blue comes off.
Mm-hmm. And then I think orange.
And then orange. So orange goes back to reserve.
Yep.
Green goes back to reserve.
Yep.
And blue goes to Valhalla.
And the blue goes to Valhalla, yep. And Vanaheim is yours.
Yeah.
Right. 2, 3. Then we've got
Jotunheim.
Jotunheim.
So we have a battle going on in Jotunheim. A red stone comes off.
Yep.
And then a blue stone comes off.
Yep.
And then a red stone comes off. So that's a blue world.
Yep.
So the blue stone goes to Valhalla. And the red stones go back in the back.
Indeed. So things are swung around a bit here. There is a tied situation in Midgard with no overall control.
Mm-hmm. So nobody
So
gets the
no
power.
one gets the power. Nidavella, however,
It's green.
is green. Yep. Muspelheim is a bit of sort of drunken stuff going on with my Vikings again. They have been having a bit too much of that mead, I reckon. So I have to reduce it down to a 5. Svartalheim, I think redstone comes off. I've lost a lot of stones this particular turn.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Svartalheim power. Nobody has control of Niflheim. Right, before we activate the world powers, players that have world powers on tokens have the choice of activating them. So I could use red has got.
Does red want the Asgard power this time? Because it's only got Muspelheim.
Only has Muspelheim. It's been rather picked on. Because there's blue, 1, 2, 1 blue power, 1 orange power, 3 green powers, mind you. What's the worst that could happen? You could steal one of my red stones, which is not too bad. Yeah, I think I'll actually. I think I'll forgo that. I'll keep access to the Muspelheim power. I have the Vanaheim power, but could it be a good time to use it, or do I do that for next turn?
Do you
Showing
want to
it
put
now.
an extra couple of stones on your card?
That's quite good.
It's the last round.
That's last round. Now's the time to play the Vanaheim Power. So Vanaheim Power is either to bring stones back from Helheim, but I haven't got any there, or to add 2 stones to my card. And having those in play for the final turn makes a lot of sense. So there we are, 1, 2. Nobody's got the Alfheim Power. The next one I think is Midgard, which is me again.
Now we're using tokens.
Yeah, we're using tokens. I've got the Midgard Power.
Yeah.
Here, see. But
I've also got a Midgard Power.
no, you've got Svartalheim Power. But this isn't the last turn of the game, so I'm going to keep the exchange power, which is very useful for changing controls of worlds and things, for the last turn. So I think it's just to you. Do you want to use Svartalheim now?
You've got another token there. What's
That's the Asgard. That's the Niflheim Power for banishment.
Yeah.
Again, useful for the last turn of the game, I think. So
Okay.
I'm going to hold on to that. Yeah.
So this is a Svartalfheim Power.
Yeah. Use it to spend 2 points.
Spend 2 points. So. That's blue. So 2 points for blue. What could I do with that? I could. Or do I keep it for the final round?
You could bring back a.
I could use it to move somebody's avatar, couldn't I?
You could use it to move someone's avatar, yes.
Because green being there is a bit of a pain, to be honest.
Don't know any harm.
I'm going to move you back to your home world.
Is it just adjacent world, is it? Let's check again. I think it's still adjacent world, isn't it, for the avatar? Move another player's avatar to an adjacent world for 2 points.
Is that worth it? I think it is, because at the moment you're there, so next round you could just start getting rid of all my Vanaheim stones for 1 point each.
And I can draw stone into where I am.
Yeah, so
As well,
we
which-
will move you.
Okay, so that you're using the Svartalheim token.
Yeah.
Right, world powers. Proper world powers, as it were. So, Asgard, Alfheim, Nidavellir. No, I'm not going to use... You've got access to the Vanaheim power, which is a steal. You can steal something. That's it then. You're going to bring some stones back or whatever. You can steal something. You've got another couple of points. I think what I'm going to do is I won't use it. So, do you want to use the Vanaheim power?
I do. So I can bring a stone back from Helheim and drop it anywhere on the board.
You can, yeah.
So I am going to pick that up if I can. And where do I want to drop it?
Where are they going?
I'm going to drop it in here, I think.
Right, okay, so then that was Vanaheim. Alfheim, I get to move 2 stones. Happy enough with my green distribution-y thing here. I've got a sort of bit of a... So I'm actually going to move a couple of red stones there and there. I'll do a bit of a push on Midgard. That assists that. That was 3. Well, 4 is Jotunheim. You can steal a stone.
Okay, I'm going to steal this green stone.
Replace it
make
with
it
a
a
blue
blue
stone. So that was the Jotunheim power. Nobody, when we checked earlier, had access to the Midgard power.
Yep.
This is why I say things can change, but that'll be for next turn. Nidavellir, I get to drop a green stone onto any of the 9 worlds, so I will drop a stone back. That one that basically got nicked from Niflheim. I'll also show it back again. Okay, so that was it. Now we're on to Muspelheim. Send 2 stones back to player's card or 1 to their reserve. So let's get rid of one of these orange stones into your reserve. And then Svartalheim can spend 2 points. The orange player can spend 2 points using the Svartalheim power.
Okay, so I will
Okie dokie. Valhalla phase. So, well, the green one's just going to go straight back to the green world. You have the option of spending that power.
I have a Valkyrie power.
You can.
So what this means is I can only use it for one of the stones,
yeah.
can't I?
Yes, indeed. Yep.
So 2 of those stones are just going to go back to Vanaheim.
Score you 2 points each. That's going to get you 4 points. I'll do that for you. Puts you on 45. Okay.
And then the remaining one, I have a choice between scoring 3 points for the stone or scoring 2 points but dropping it down anywhere.
Yes.
So I am going to take the 2-point option.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drop this one down on Jotunheim.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep. And 2 points. Yep. So blue is actually almost caught up with red here. Right.
I'm still going to lose overall though because you have.
Well, we have to wait to see, don't we? So that is the end of that thing. We have a tidy up phase, which is. Anyone got? Actually, this is when you could cash in this token if you wanted, and that one if you wanted. So this one the blue's got is they will get you 2 points for every world you control or tie control of. So you've got 1 world, you've got 2 worlds. That would be it. You'd get 4 points from it. So if you think you could do better, then hold on to it. Otherwise, you could spend that. This one over here is 2 points for every world that you're on. Orange is currently on 3 worlds, so that would score you 6 points if you spent it now.
Okay, so I could probably do better than that.
You can do better than that, so you're going to hold on to it. Right, now we need the final monsters.
I'm just wondering, Richard, what we do about this, because looking at the time, we're actually already at the 7:30 point.
We are, aren't we? Yes, and
so
actually...
would it make sense, next week we have a session when we finish off this one and talk a bit about creatures and monsters, and then after that we have a bit of a gap?
Yes, I think so, because obviously it's going to... The final turn in these games always takes a little bit of time because there's an awful lot of things going on. So you're right, it's past now, so I think we'll leave it there. So have a look at what are these new monsters. So we've got the Kraken. So the Kraken's worth 4 points, and the Grendel is worth 4 points. Neither of those
so my favourite monster has actually not come out of the bag.
Yeah, which is what, Loki or?
Is actually Loki. Yeah. So let's just have a look over here and just see. Oh, Jormungand.
Yeah, there should be more than one on there. There should be Jormungand. There's the Frost Giants.
So Jormungand is of course the world's serpent.
Yeah.
But then Loki. The thing about Loki is if you have a look at the Loki power.
Yeah.
He gets to use any world power he wants every turn.
Yeah. That's really powerful.
So if Loki comes out in the round 4 of the game, then everyone will be trying to get it in the picture as soon as possible.
Indeed.
As it is, he's not come out.
He's not come up, and that's just that. Let's rotate that one around. Oh, there we go. Oh, token there. Anyway, yes. So we'll leave it there. We'll tidy things up later and get tokens on these. So this will be these 3 monsters don't have world monster powers, but there's a lot of points there. There is 14 points of monster powers available there, so potentially still enough to swing things a little bit in terms of who controls the most monsters.
Yeah, so I think probably next week, before we start the game, we'll have a review of where we are, remind everybody of who's got what, and maybe have a bit of a dummy score of what the score would be if we left it there, not actually score it, but just work it out for all the monster points and other things. Okay.
Right.
So I think we'll leave it there for now. Hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.